You'll see quite a few videos where I use the Thera-Bands for exercises. A lot of times they're going to be intended for shoulder exercises. Whether it comes to skateboarding, whether it comes to baseball, whether it comes to swimmers, I deal with a lot of swimmers. Having a good overhead and strong posterior shoulders, so a lot of external rotation and stuff like that are critical for the long-term health of the shoulder. For your everyday person, this is also impacted by computer work, by driving, by all these positions where we're reaching forward, texting and looking down, and all these things where we're reaching, whereas it takes a lot of our posture and kind of creates a shell, and we start to end up with issues throughout the cervical, like I'm Mike Tyson over here, cervical or thoracic spine. And so there's 2 or 3 really good, actually I'm just going to show you 3 really good Thera-Band exercises you can utilize. Now you can utilize a post or something like that and wrap it around. I'm just going to use the anchor that's here. But we have the Y, the T, and the W. The T can also be known as the pull apart, but it's a very simple exercise where I'm going to grab it palms down. I'm going to try to pull my shoulder blades back together, and I'm going to keep my hands at a level kind of like nipple line. I'm not going to have them really high to start off with, but I'm just going to go through repetition where I open up, I don't lean back and try to compensate, and I try to use the retraction of the shoulder blades and the utilization of the rear delts and move the scapula or the shoulder blade as much as possible. So this would be your T or your pull apart. If I was to take in front of you and just do this, a lot of people would just categorize this as the pull apart. Notice I'm not doing it by my neck. I do it lower at the chest where we utilize the teres major, a lot of the very simple external rotation as we open up the shoulders this way. Then we have the Y. Now the Y can be tricky, especially if you have a poor overhead position on your reach, because if you have trouble reaching overhead, obviously you're not going to be able to reach overhead with a band. But it's a good way to start strengthening. Grab a light band if you need to. I normally say utilize a split stance, 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, because you're less likely to compensate your position. You're gonna grab it in a thumbs up position. So when I grab it, I'm gonna lead with my thumbs as I open up my shoulders and take 1 rep at a time. So I'm gonna go Y, squeeze and hold for 1 sec, and I'm gonna focus everything on moving the shoulder blade. The shoulder blade will move the arm. From that front position, it looks like this. Okay, it looks like Y, like I'm doing YMCA. And so it helps for that being able to reach overhead here. The last one's called a W. W because the end position is here. So there's face pulls and then there's W's. I like W's a little more. They're a little bit more challenging. I get a little bit more out of the exercise, but it's kind of done in the same fashion. I'm gonna grab it to where it's thumbs up. I'm going to keep my elbows slightly below my shoulder. I'm gonna try to take my thumbs and point them back as far as I can, squeezing my shoulder blades together, keeping my shoulders low, not shrugging my shoulders, keeping my shoulders low, and then returning. Breathing out, squeeze, thumbs back, hold for just a second, and repeat. So as I'm pulling towards you, it's here, no shrug. We wanna pull the elbows down. We want to open up. I utilize this with my swimmers. I utilize with anybody that throws. I utilize this for myself, even though I myself am a skateboarder. I utilize this because the better our posture can be, the better our external rotation, the less shelling and poor posture we have, the less interruption we have between the discs in our cervical spine, our thoracic spine, the easier it is for us to stand upright, having a healthier posture, better nervous system recruitment, and being able to utilize more function of the nervous system in doing so.